Hello YouTube, this is Duke. I'm here to make a quick little video about my highlights of E3 2012. I know E3 is a little, two weeks ago, but what I wanted to do was throw my hat into the ring since everyone was making their opinions on it, and I made notes for a couple friends of mine to go through and rant and stuff, and I just want to get a few things off my chest because the E3 sucked. Oh my god. Granted, it's one of the only two I watched, but it was still pretty terrible. So I want to just go through, and I have highlights printed out here that I just wanted to go through in the video, so I'll get right to it. For some reason, I don't know if this was destiny or fate or what, but we have Dish Network, and Dish Network was so nice to give us G4 for free for, I guess, the whole month. So I went through and I taped about 10 hours of E3 footage, and I painstakingly went through it all to eventually make this video that's been postponed for weeks. So I wanted to sit down before work and record this, so here we go. I'm going to start with the Konami conference, the pre-E3 Konami conference, which honestly was one of the better conferences in this whole fucking thing. So the very first thing Konami talks about before their Hollow President introduction was they built a new corporate center in San Francisco, California that probably cost tens of millions of dollars. And you know what they fucking built it for? You really want to know? For Facebook games. I wrote here, announcement of a huge corporate center in San Francisco to work on Facebook/casual gaming. Now you too can play uninteresting shit like Frogger Pinball. Frogger Pinball. Because when I think Konami, I think Frogger Pinball. Don't you guys? Yeah. So do I. Like I said, this facility had to cost tens of millions of dollars, and they focused all of it on social gaming. I could be wrong. I mean, they could be doing other projects there, but at least the majority of it is social gaming. Why? What about the new Contra game they teased last year at E3? The quick little teaser trailer where the flame went around and formed a C. That's obviously Contra, and it said they're back under it. Whatever happened to that? Give us that. Build a facility to make that game. Don't fucking give us Frogger Pinball, fucking Twilight Carnival. No one wants to play that. God damn it. This is the very first thing on here, out of like 10 pages or so, and I'm already pissed off. The next thing was PES 2013, Pro Evolution Soccer. Woo. I'm not a big soccer fan, so I just remember from the video they made a huge deal of it where there's not only one, but two ways you can pass a soccer ball. If that appeals to you, that's great. To me, I could really care less. Whatever, moving on. Then Hideo Kojima comes out, and I'm a huge Hideo Kojima fan. He announces the Zone of the Enders HD collection, which is pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. I haven't played Zoe or Zone of the Enders. It looks promising, so if any of you guys out there are fans of Zone of the Enders, that's cool. And I also want to apologize in advance for my shitty microphone and my little camera here. Oh, also he showed Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which actually looks pretty good. Now that I've seen footage of it, from all my friends talking about it and such, and reading about it online, it actually looks pretty cool. It looks more like Bayonetta or Ninja Gaiden than Metal Gear, but it's a nice little spin-off. It was pretty impressive. That's something I would play. Then they go into Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. Which was pretty cool for like a pre-rendered trailer, I guess you can say. There was really no gameplay to it, but if you played Lords of Shadow, it's pretty much more of the same. Then they also announced the Castlevania Mirror of Fate for the 3DS, because if the 3DS needs anything, it's more games. Definitely. So that was pretty cool. Quick little wrap-up with E3. Probably one of the best things about it was with Konami's conference is they kept it short, which you'll see that the more we get into this. Then we get into Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo. What happened to you, Nintendo? Oh, fuck. Nintendo. So I'll start with the pre-E3 conference Nintendo did, then I'll go right into the main conference at E3 they did on Tuesday. They talked about the Wii U's obviously being released this holiday, no price point, no exact date. It's coming out this holiday, so grab one. Yeah. The Wii U gamepad has been revamped from its prototype stage. It looks a little bit better. It has a slot for e-readers now. It has a slot for actually on the top where you can charge it like a PS3 controller. That's pretty cool. Because, you know, we went through our Wii, I don't know how many AA batteries we went through with the fucking Wiimotes. So, oh, they made a big deal about, Iwata made a huge deal about how they have analog sticks that can go in 360 degrees and they're clickable. That, you want to talk about E3 innovation unveiled, that right there. Because it's not like the PlayStation 2 did it back in 2000. L3, R3, clickable sticks. Oh my God. I don't know what it is about Nintendo anymore. I think I was kind of pissed off when, you know, they announced all this stuff when they went through the conference, or the lack of stuff they announced. But the more I think about it, the more that, how can I put this? Everyone talks about how Nintendo has to cater to the hardcore gamers and stuff. And when I talk about hardcore gamers, I talk about the NES days, when they had pretty much all the third-party support on lockdown, when companies were small, when they were hungry, when they were developing games, when they wanted to get noticed. That was really the golden age of gaming for me personally. And then they came out with probably the best successor to a console ever, arguably, the Super Nintendo. And I was looking last night online for launch games that were on each console, and the Super Nintendo, if you really think about it, knocked it out of the park. The launch lineup for the Super Nintendo in North America was Super Mario World, F-Zero, Pilot Wings, Gradius 3, and SimCity. That was it. And those 5 games, all 5 of those games are fucking awesome. All 5 of those games you can pick up and play today, and you can get lost in. Your heart and imagination can get lost in those games. It's not the same anymore. It's like Nintendo basically just gave up since Microsoft and Sony captured the hardcore gaming market, and they're like, well, we might as well get the children and the moms on gaming and stuff, and they just kind of went in another direction. Which really has its ups and downs, more so downs than ups in my opinion, because you can't, like, Nintendo's not the same anymore. They have their first party titles, but they're all the fucking same thing. And I'm going to get to that right now, which is leading into this. A little bit more about the controller though, first. Oh, the Wii U Pro controller. That totally does not look like an Xbox 360 controller. They swapped the right analog stick and the buttons around. Pro controller. Great. Status updates from friends will be available on the gamepad screen. Video chat. The Miiverse is announced, which allows players to communicate with each other. Just basically like an upgraded Mii Plaza for everyone. The Nintendo Network exists and will exist for future Nintendo devices. That's it. That's pretty much all they talked about with a Nintendo Network, a proprietary network. So, I don't know. Nintendo's still afraid of the internet, it seems like. I don't know why, but whatever. Then it goes right into the main conference where Shigeru Miyamoto announces Pikmin 3 for the Wii U, which is cool. That was pretty much the high point of the entire conference. The thing I loved about it most was Miyamoto describing the game and with the little Pikmins and stuff. He's just so passionate about what he does. That's what makes him great, and that's what makes pretty much every game he's ever touched is great. You know, because his passion is infused in it. Nintendo needs more of that. They're relying way too much on shit they've already done, and I'm going to get to that more here. The Wii U can support 2 Wii U gamepads at once. This fucking thing. I think I had to put this first. This was actually the last thing they did in the conference, and if anyone watched this fucking conference, you know exactly what I'm going to talk about next. Nintendo Land. It's... They basically took IPs of games that everyone wants to play and threw them all in another fucking minigame collection. Because if the Wii needs anything else, it's another minigame collection. Like, really? I understand the Wii Sports had appeal when the Wii first came out in 2006. But it doesn't really mean we want more of it. Wii Sports, its time came and went, okay? Wii Sports was great for like a week, and then it got old. It was great when you had company over the house, then that got old after a week or two, and that was it. I mean, our Wii has basically been gathering dust. It's like right behind there. It's been gathering dust for at least a year. I honestly cannot tell you the last game I played on it or the last time I turned it on. And you know what? The Wii U is going to be the same exact fucking thing. You know what the Wii U is? They're being blatant about it. It's Wii Part 2. They're not hiding it at all. They're putting it right out there and saying this is Wii Part 2. Except this time, like the Wii was a GameCube on steroids, the Wii U is going to be a Wii on steroids, and instead of a motion controller, it's going to have a tablet controller. That's it. They didn't even go in depth about the console, and I have a theory about that too, where I think they didn't go in depth about the console too much. Like, all they really showed is basically mock-up pictures of it, and this pretty much the same pictures that were announced last year. I have a theory where that, how can I put this? Where the Wii U is basically just like a Wii, but with slightly better hardware in it, and like the tablet controller. It's basically the same thing. So, I'm telling you right now, I'm not buying a Wii U. No fucking way. Why? Because I'm not stupid. I don't hate Nintendo. I'm not a fanboy or anything, but the Wii U has nothing on it that interests me at all. And it's since it's basically just another Wii, it'll be emulated 2 years after it comes out. So I'll sit back playing other games. I'll wait for an emulator to come out on the internet. I'll go to Best Buy or whatever, buy a controller, play it on my computer. Done. It's the same shit over and over again with Nintendo. I don't get it. So yeah, I put Nintendo Land is announced, which is an incredibly lame collection of mini-games set in a theme park that can be played online or offline using various Nintendo's IPs. Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, etc. Then they go into, like, this is the main theme of E3, and this is what's really going to piss me off when I get to Microsoft's notes here. Support for various apps are announced, including Amazon Video, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu Plus, etc. No one really cares. Call me old-fashioned, but don't people buy consoles to play games on them? I mean, YouTube is great, Netflix is great, but why would you make that a major announcement at a games conference? Why not come out and make that, you know, like, make it an update with the firmware or something? Like, oh, by the way, now YouTube is supported. That's great, you know. I can watch YouTube on my laptop. I can watch YouTube on my goddamn cell phone, okay? I don't need it on my Xbox or my Wii or my PlayStation. It's great to have, but don't make it a major feature. Don't focus too much on it. Focus more on the games. Other Wii U announcements include Wii U Fit, Super Mario Bros. U, which is basically Super Mario Bros. U, which is basically it's new Super Mario Bros. Wii with prettier backgrounds, and this time Mario gets a squirrel suit, which basically, from what I've seen from the footage they showed, it just basically, it's like wings that kind of breaks Mario's fall a little bit when he's falling down. That's all it is. This is why Nintendo, this is why I don't really support them anymore. Because they take a game they made like 3 or 4 years ago, they enhance the graphics just a little bit, they throw a gimmick in it, and poof, new game. No. No, I'm not a fucking child anymore, Nintendo, okay? That's not how it works. Make something new. Just like going back to my Super Nintendo example. When Miyamoto released F-Zero, it was something new. When he released Pilot Wings, it was something new. When he released Star Fox with the Super FX chip, it was something new. Make new things. Don't go back and slightly alter what you made 3 years ago and, you know, call it a new game. On the other hand, I can't really blame them because people actually go out and buy this shit for $50 every 2 or 3 years, but still, come on. Nintendo is the company that got me into video games in the first place, and they're the company that basically took the entire industry from the ashes out of the glut of the oversaturation of the Atari 2600 games in 1983, and they single-handedly saved the industry. And now the ironic thing is that the Wii is the console with all the Atari 2600-esque shovelware on it. It's sad. Other games that the Wii U announced was Lego City Undercover, which is pretty much GTA for children. Sing, a karaoke game. Fuck these music games already. Like, seriously. Scribblenauts, and ports of the following multi-platform titles. Batman Arkham City Armored Edition, which was the big thing everyone was screaming about. Like, oh, I already played this game a year ago. And you know what? They're right. One of the funniest things about it was, here's how delusional Nintendo is I watched, I think I had the Nintendo conference. The Nintendo conference is the only thing I didn't catch from G4's coverage, and I actually recorded it off of Spike TV. And Jeff Knightley interviewed Reggie Fils-Aimé, I think I pronounced that right, right after the conference, and Reggie comes out, and they actually got in somewhat of a debate about whether Batman Arkham City was a new game. And Reggie basically said, well, yeah, it's a completely new game. It's not the same game. It's not the same game, he kept saying, because then he said, well, you know, you're still Batman, and all the characters are still there, and you're still in Arkham City. So I'm like, yeah, so it's Batman Arkham City. It's the same game. You know, it's the same game. God damn it. Basically, the only thing different about it is it uses gimmicks from the touchpad where you can actually take your eyes off of the action and go down to your inventory and select a weapon and stuff. And they showed where you can take the tablet controller and you can control like batarangs and stuff like that. Same game. Darksiders 2, Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3. Out of all the multi-platform titles you can get. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad Nintendo is getting more third-party support this time, but Mass Effect 3, that's the best you guys can do? Come on. Tank, Tank, Tank. Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Trine 2 Director's Cut. Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. Aliens Colonial Marines, Just Dance 4. Every fucking console needed music games this year. Like, I just, if any, here's a quick breakdown. If you don't want to watch this entire video, here's a quick breakdown of E3. 95% of games announced were a prequel, a sequel, or a music game. That's it. That was the innovative console of this year. Jesus Christ. And then we have Rabbids Land, Your Shape Fitness, Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3. Basically, these were all Ubisoft games. Ubisoft basically owned this fucking conference. They might as well just call it the Ubisoft 2012 conference with special guests Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, and EA. Because really, they owned it. Everyone made a big fucking deal about Assassin's Creed 3. It looks okay, but it's a sequel, and it's not even the third game in the fucking series. It's more like the fifth one, 5th or 6th. I think there was a PSP game in there somewhere. I don't know. I know about Revelations and Brotherhood, and I know 1 and 2 were before that. So I don't know. Still, it's a fucking sequel. Give me something new, for the love of God. Rayman Legends, which Rayman Legends looks pretty cool, I have to admit. Sports Connection and the Avengers Battle for Earth. I know Sports Collection is a minigame collection. Big fucking shock there. And the Avengers Battle for Earth, they showed a quick, like, 25, 30-second CGI trailer. I don't know what the hell it's about. Is it a fighting game? I don't know. Oh, the most impressive release being a game called Zombie U. Zombie U, it's kind of like a roguelike survival type game where, you know, you basically survive against zombies. No big deal, right? And I think later they talked about multiplayer elements where other people can come in, and if you die, they get like the loot off of your corpse, or they have to, I think you get revived as a zombie, and you have to go, you know, your friends have to go and kill you because they're threatened by your zombie corpse now, I guess you can say. I think that's true. I'm not quite sure. That's something, like I said, my friends were talking about, so take that with a grain of salt. 3DS games. More fucking sequels from Nintendo, because they don't know how to do anything else, apparently. New Super Mario Wii 2, which... it's New Super Mario Brothers Wii, again, with like twice as more coins, and where you get twice as more extra lives. So, you know, pussy gamers today that can't take the challenge of the older Mario games, or even the older games period, can just like breeze through this with their fucking hands tied behind their back and their eyes closed. Paper Mario Sticker Star. Paper Mario, you collect stickers, I guess. And Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So, at least Luigi's Mansion got a sequel, but really, all Luigi's Mansion was, from what I played of it, was like a tech demo for the GameCube. I could be wrong, and I should really go back and play it to get a better opinion of it, but it didn't really impress me all that much. A separate conference for the 3DS has been announced for tomorrow for more announcements. Oh, and was that a fucking doozy? I'll give you a hint. It was a waste of time for everyone. Yeah, then it goes in the post-interview on Spike TV, I already covered. One more thing, actually, from the post-interview was Project P100, which looks pretty cool. It looked like a... It kind of looked like a Pikmin, but like a more kind of isometric strategy game where you collect different troops and such. That looked pretty cool. There wasn't a lot spoken about it, but that's something is interesting. But again, with Zombie U and Project P100 and Pikmin 3, that's not enough to sell me a console. It's not. You know, that's just how I feel about it.